Here we go. Here comes Deb. Thank you, friend. I did see the comments. But thank you for the text and the reminder. Yeah. I My daughter-in-law tried to FaceTime me, and I think that's what killed the sound. I don't know why that happens, but yeah. Thanks for coming and finding me again with some sound. Give everyone a second to get over here and check in. Technical difficulties. There we go. Michelina says, you're back. I'm back. Sorry about that. I was telling them my daughter-in-law tried to FaceTime me, and I think that that is what killed the sound. I swiped it away, but I think that's when it happened. All right, well, it is 8:10, so let's lead into grounding, and then we'll carry forth with our. I'll tell my story after that. Miss M says, "Yay, I made it. Tech issues for you and contractor calls for me." And Laura says, "Checking in, excited to create and clear out the old." Yeah, you're on a clear out mission, aren't you, with your studio and making it happen. Deb says, checking in, exhausted, but slept in a bit and another bit to join today. Miss these lives. Yeah, we miss having you here too. I'm glad you got to sleep in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna read a poem for our grounding today, and I'm just gonna repeat it. So I encourage you to get into your grounding posture, whatever that looks like. Put my feet on the floor. I'm feeling very grounded today already. But for those of you who aren't, I found this poem last night and just want us to soak in the words. So deep breath. Maybe close your eyes. On Earth, just a teaspoon of neutron star would weigh 6 billion tons. 6 billion tons is equivalent to the weight of every animal on Earth, including insects, times 3. 6 billion tons sounds impossible until I consider how it is to swallow grief. Just 1 teaspoon, and one may as well have consumed a neutron star. How dense it is, how it carries inside it the memory of collapse. How difficult it is to move then, how impossible to believe anything could ever lift that weight. There are many reasons to treat each other with great tenderness. One is the sheer miracle we are here together on a planet surrounded by dying stars. One is we cannot see what anyone else has swallowed. On Earth, just a teaspoon of neutron star would weigh 6 billion tons. 6 billion tons is equivalent to the weight of every animal on Earth, including insects, times 3. 6 billion tons sounds impossible until I consider how it is to swallow grief. Just 1 teaspoon, and one may as well have consumed a neutron star. How dense it is, how it carries inside it the memory of collapse, how difficult it is to move then, how impossible to believe anything could ever lift that weight. There are many reasons to treat each other with great tenderness. One is the sheer miracle we are here together on a planet surrounded by dying stars. One is we cannot see what anyone else has swallowed. On Earth, just a teaspoon of neutron star would weigh 6 billion tons. 6 billion tons is equivalent to the weight of every animal on Earth, including insects, times 3. 6 billion tons sounds impossible until I consider how it is to swallow grief. Just 1 teaspoon, and one may as well have consumed a neutron star. How dense it is, how it carries inside it the memory of collapse. How difficult it is to move then. How impossible to believe anything could ever lift that weight. There are many reasons to treat each other with great tenderness. One is the sheer miracle we are here together on a planet surrounded by dying stars. One is we cannot see what anyone else has swallowed. And when you're ready, I'll invite you to join me on the page. Sam says, yay, Laura, same for me, both with family and at my house. And Michelina says, the poem brings many tears. Please post who authored. It's my gal, Rosemary Rotella Tromer. I will post it. I've read so many poems from this book, and she has other books. But yeah, she's pretty incredible. Wow, I'm looking at my watch going, it's 8:17, but that's not the information I wanted. I wanted to know what day it is. January 23rd. Oh, I don't want this pen. This is the nasty pen. Where's my good pen? Well, I guess I'm just going with a thick pen today. I was saying before the silence, or maybe after the silence, after my sound went out in the first video, that I was checking in blessed, and that I am not at home right now. I'm staying in Reno with our best friends. So our besties are John and Dawn. They're a couple that has been together just about as long as my husband and I have. And we'll have our 34th anniversary in June. Donald had surgery last week, and John had to go to San Diego on Wednesday for a funeral. And so I came up on Wednesday, and I've been staying here with Donald. So he's not alone. He's recovering very well, but he had a lot of appointments yesterday, and he's not supposed to be driving yet. So I've been working from here and hanging out with Donald. And it's such a gift to give and receive, right? You know, those friendships that you have where I know without any doubt in my mind that they would do the exact same thing for us. Those friendships are just better than anything I can think of. You know, family does stuff like that out of obligation, but when you find friends that you can do that for and receive that from, it's just, that's the life I want, is to have relationships with people for whom I can provide that kind of love and care, and receive. It's just the best thing ever. Let me go back to comments. Deb says, wow, tear release for me too. And Miss M says, how dense the memory of grief and collapse. Ooh, yeah. And Miss M says, it is a gift to be of service. And Meta says, would it be possible to repeat the poem? I absolutely will. Deb says, what serendipity you found each other. And Meta says, my cat hijacked me. Carol says, good friends like this are a priceless gift. And Meta says, sounds like true friends. Yeah, it's I'm so grateful. Okay, I will read this poem one more time for Meta. The title of the poem, I didn't share that before, is Watching My Friend Pretend Her Heart Isn't Breaking. On Earth, just a teaspoon of neutron star would weigh 6 billion tons. 6 billion tons is equivalent to the weight of every animal on Earth, including insects, times 3. 6 billion tons sounds impossible until I consider how it is to swallow grief. Just 1 teaspoon, and one may as well have consumed a neutron star. How dense it is, how it carries inside it the memory of collapse. How difficult it is to move then. How impossible to believe anything could ever lift that weight. There are many reasons to treat each other with great tenderness. One is the sheer miracle we are here together on a planet surrounded by dying stars. One is we cannot see what anyone else has swallowed. You're welcome. You are welcome. So yeah, I just feel lucky and grateful. John comes home tonight, so I will go home this afternoon. I've been sharing just how busy work has been for me. I've been writing end of year reviews for several weeks now, and I have one left. They're due on Monday, and I have one left to write, and I will be completely done. And I'm already enjoying the sense of accomplishment. It's a big, big job. I have 15 direct reports, and then I had to write peer reviews, and then upward feedback as well. So it's a lot of work. And I really want them to be meaningful for my team, and so I take a lot of time on them. So it's really a sense of accomplishment to wrap those up and move on to the next thing. The next thing hopefully won't be as intense and all-consuming, but it is. I do take great satisfaction from doing my job well. I never wanted a career. I was that girl that just wanted to get married and have babies and never work a day in her life. And I kind of fell into a career as my kids got older. And now I'm very intentional about working just because I want to save as much money as I can for retirement. So it's never been a strong part of my identity. Like, my work is like, I'd much rather be known as a mom and a wife and a grandnana, and but I'm very grateful that I have a job that even though I fell into it and didn't really ever didn't go to college, to do what I'm doing now. But it is really a gift to have something that I am so passionate about, and a company that I adore working for. I'm really grateful. So yeah, feeling good on this Friday. I'm excited about the next task, the next thing that will come along. It's 8:27. So this is very often when we might share words that have surfaced from our art. If you have any words coming to you, anything that wants to be expressed. Sometimes I just want the art to be what it is, and I don't need it to say anything. And other times it screams. It has something to say. Deb says, I know what you mean. I'm swallowed by my work right now. The dream is real, though, and the end of career relief is what's ahead. Yeah. It's, I know that you take a lot of satisfaction and love the people that you work with, like the clients that you work with, Deb, and I know you're a huge gift to them. But yeah, when the end is in sight, yeah, it's just an interesting time to have a career. And I'm grateful that I still, I'm not just counting down the days until I can retire. In my case, years. I do love what I do. Deb says, willing to make it so. Meta says, thank you for today. You're so welcome, friend. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for finding me after the glitch. I do love you all. So I feel the same way about this group as I do about my friendships. Like, what a gift to have this in my life. This amazing group of beautiful people that value, a daily creative practice and hold each other. The Sam says, didn't realize how much grief I have. Thanks, Kathy. You're so welcome, friends. We are all carrying a lot of grief. I mean, some of us have more poignant losses, of people that we have loved, and some of us are grieving. All of us are grieving, loss of the innocence of our childhoods and life as we knew it. Yeah, Laura says grief comes in all sizes, but the density stays. It's so true. Yeah, and it's heavy. It's really heavy, friends. Treat each other with tenderness.